Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll see what I get then.
So, starting a family in England in comparison to Germany, we're in very different kind of. I guess, at the point where I'm gonna be starting a family here. You've already got that. What do you think? Well, yeah, what do you think? Starting a family in England, comparison to Germany. What you thought?
I wouldn't want to do it in England, but that's, yeah, obviously, I was going to say that anyway.
No,
I've been pretty pessimistic the whole time about England. No, I'd say, especially if you live where we live, it's such a good place to have kids. Mm-hmm. There's just open green spaces everywhere. It's super safe. Childcare and the pricing and the social security is so much better here. What we pay for kindergarten per month is what people pay, less than people pay for a day in England.
What? How much is it?
It's 90 quid a month.
What? Oh my gosh.
A month.
A month.
People paying that a day in England.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's subsidised by the government. So you pay a bit towards it. I don't exactly know how it works, but I know that when Bodhi went to kindergarten or Kita, which is like nursery before kindergarten in Schwezi, this was €67 a month.
Wow.
And now he's in Munningen. You know where it is in Munningen?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know it is. Yeah.
So it's from my house, maximum a minute walk, and costs €90 a month. Or maybe 100 or 110 or something, but it doesn't matter. It's negligible amounts, yeah.
I mean,
so that's huge. People in England are working to just pay their childcare, or one person, which I would never do, because you're putting your kid into somebody else's care who maybe don't have the same ideas or family values as what you have. Maybe they have different other political affiliations and I don't know, whatever. Your kid's spending a lot of time with someone who is maybe not teaching your kids what you want to teach your kids. So I think if you're doing it to just not have a gap in your career, you're working and you're making $2,000 after tax, I'm talking England, and you're paying 1,800 for childcare, then just don't have a job. If you're in a position to do that and your husband's working, I know people that both go to work, one of you stay home with the kids. If there's no financial advantage to it, then you're just doing your kids a bit of a disservice, I think, by putting them in someone else's care. They should be with their parents. Here, I should point out that that's not all day. He goes from 8 o'clock till 1 o'clock. We normally take him 8:30 and pick him up at 12:30, but the maximum time would be. So it's not like he's there till 6 o'clock in the evening, which is maybe the case on the ones in England that are €100 a day or £100 a day. It's maybe longer, but either way, it's still much, much cheaper here.
What, in terms with, as this is interesting because obviously I'm going to find this out now. There's a lot of this I'm now knowing from you.
That's why I wanted to do this.
Yeah, it's just interesting because this is a big thing. I think it's one of the, I'm 28 now and it's, do you know what I mean? That is the time frame where you have to start thinking about it.
I did it a bit later. Yeah. Should point out I'm 40 and my kids too. So I did it literally 10 years. I was 38 when I had Bodhi.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you haven't got a rush just
I know,
yet.
but it's always, I feel like people always think they have a lot more time than they have. Do you know what I mean? I always think, time goes quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been here for 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
That's flown, right?
7, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been here for 5 years now, and it feels like it was just yesterday. But with what kind of factors, when you have a child in Germany, what do they offer? For example, obviously you haven't had a family in England, obviously. What kind of positives do Germany give for when you have a child here?
Obviously the maternity leave,
right.
And
yeah,
it's much, much better.
Okay.
Simone is just about to come off of the first one's called Mutterschutz, mother protection, and I think that goes that's for 3 years.
3 years?
So she doesn't going to be healthcare or anything like this for 3 years. She got from her work a year you can either do a year's maternity leave or 2 years, but you only get the same money. So you do 2 years, but you get half as much money each month. Does that make sense? Like it's the same total in the pot, if you like. It just gets divided over 24 months instead of 12. And it's the same for the father. So I could have taken full paternity leave at 70% for 2 months, or I could have 4 months at 35%. Again, like the same total amount, just divided twice or 4 times. And you can split that up when you want. So I had 2 months when he was a little bit older. I didn't do it when he was first born. I was only working part-time anyway, so I had plenty of time to be home. I took it in January, February. We went to Sri Lanka for 2 months. And then a year later, we went to Morocco for 2 months. And this year, we also went to Morocco for 2 months. Simone still has her health insurance and everything. And I just took time off of work.
Okay.
And her Mutterschutz runs out on his 3rd birthday. Okay. So in like 2 months.
Okay, wow, that's quite soon.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
I got all that right.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Again, like I said, I don't get involved in the bureaucracy too much.
Yeah.
I just do my stuff, and she takes care of it all. Yeah.
The educational system, that's one thing.
Also very different.
Yeah, I mean, you got Southampton. The education system's quite good. Right?
I went to a pretty nice school.
Yeah. What's the thing?
Yeah, it's my doorbell. It's gonna be them coming back.
That's all.
I just tell them to wait like 10 minutes downstairs. Yeah, 5 minutes. I know here the way they kind of like the kids at like 10 years old are like tested to see if they go into Real, Hoch, or the Deb school, the other one, or the Real, whichever one, I don't know. I think that's really hard, like on kids. And the timing's really different here. They go to school from like 7 a.m. They get the bus in Munningen at like 7:10, which is really early. And then they're home at 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even less than like kindergarten. So if you have a lot of homework, and that's good that they're not in school so long, because I think that's okay. But it's harder for the parents, because if you want to like have a part-time job, you have to make sure you're home at like 12 o'clock to pick to let your kid in, or to meet your kid, or to pick it up from school or whatever. Whereas in England, I went to school till 3:15 and then messed around and then got a bus home. I was home by like just before 4 o'clock, and you could almost do a full day's work and then come home to, do you know what I mean? Like I think for the parents, it's sometimes hard. If you want to work, your kid's not gone till 4 o'clock in school. They're only gone till maybe 11, 12, sometimes 1 o'clock, different schools, different times, but it's always kind of half a day. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely something to consider if you want to go back to work, that you can't go back like full time when your kid's in school. And they start school much later. 6, they go to school at 6 here. In England, it's like 4.
That's true, yeah.
So it's 2 more years of like school, out of school holiday times, holidays you can have, but it's 2 more years that you need to pay for childcare if you want to do that. But it's cheap, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you raise a child in Germany, obviously from where I'm from in England, it feels like here you've got a chance. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In England, it's me personally, I wouldn't raise a family in England.
No.
I got in a lot of crap for saying it when I had a job in England, and because I was like, no, I'm not interested, because I don't understand. In England, it's the debt. Do you know when you study?
Yeah.
You have all this debt.
Yeah, and that. Yeah. Here, like university's free.
Yeah.
What's free? Nothing's free. It's paid for by your taxes, and we do pay more taxes here. But what you get back, I also to say this in Germany, we do pay more taxes than in England.
Yeah.
But what you get back, like childcare for 90 euros a month instead of 1,000 euros a month.
Exactly.
It balances out in your favour more.
Yeah.
I find personally.
No, 100% agree, and I think I struggle, especially the educational system in England. I feel like we don't prioritise, like for example, language learning and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're just
and apprenticeships. Like everyone here does an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And no one does that in England. Like
no, it feels
everyone goes to uni and studies, and no one's doing sort of practical stuff. And as here, I think salary is always sort of balanced out more as well. Like you can, whether you're not sort of like looked down on because you did an apprenticeship, as opposed to going to university and studying something that you think is better.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of like hand workers in England are sort of like looked down on a little bit for like not going to university. Your son didn't go to university, he went to be a plumber. Like, you can earn the same money, but and here it seems much more like balanced, that like no one looks down on people that don't have good jobs. Everyone kind of seems to sort of make good money and have a nice life with their money.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people here. Obviously, you do as well. I don't know anyone who's like having a really shit time and struggling and not being able to pay their rent and like eating frozen pizzas every single day because they can't afford to do stuff. Like, everyone has a nice goddamn life.
I think
That's a huge difference I see, because I know loads of in England that really struggle day to day to survive.
I think if you've got loads of money in England,
Yeah, sure.
if your family is like super well off, you know, those bloody Oxford people. Oxford people, that's me. And it was like, no, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, they...
Not the mega rich, but just
No.
I'm
And
comfortable.
it's-
To be
yeah,
comfortable,
yeah.
you need a much higher threshold to be comfortable.
Exactly, in England.
Put it that way, yeah.
And you know, to start, if I think you have that, like, you've got a lot of money, and I'd say, yeah, but I don't know, man. I think the way England is, like, just the system in place, if you start off, you know, the whole council estate as well, I think they do better support here as well.
Where are those people? Where's the council estates here? Where's all the
Yeah.
roughnecks?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, of course, we live in a village.
Yeah, but like, even in Oedingen, I guess sometimes I see somebody in like pajamas in the supermarket, and I'm like, they do exist. They're just not everywhere.
Yeah. I think...
Or just like the level of decent, normal people is higher here already. I don't know, but like, you go through, like, drive through this village and look at everyone's like gardens and like how nice everything is kept. And if you go to like it's not a nice village. It's just a random German village. You go to a random village in England like that, there'll be some nice houses, and there'll be a little shitty corner with some old broken Ford Escorts on the driveway and some washing machines. And here, like, I don't know, like, people just
I think it would
take care of their shit.
it'd be different if we, for example, if we moved into for example, a city. Trying to think some that I know.
Oh yeah, there's definitely
Potsdam. I've heard some things from, and Duisburg.
Frankfurt always gets
Frankfurt. So Frankfurt's got a bad rap. I think like we're talking like, what can the government support in England for if you're wanting to raise a family, for education, money, for example. And that's the thing, when you have a working class background, and that's the thing, if you're not in a working class background and you come from a below that, they give you money. Like, but the government's like, we're going to give you £700 for 2 months because, you know, it's like a kind of, this is going to make do. It's like, what is this, bro? It's like, this is just ridiculous. They gave that to me when I was actually studying at Southampton. Yeah, they gave me 700. I was like, that's not enough. So like, while all these other people, and they were, you know, just chilling, doing studying, I was having to work full time just to pay for
the whole working and studying thing is crazy. Like, my cousin with the union worked like all the time to pay it. And the rent's so expensive.
Yeah.
And like, here you have much cheaper rent. People moan here that it's getting expensive, and I'm like, yeah, all right.
Calm
down.
No,
pump the brakes. It's not expensive.
No.
Especially not for your like salary.
Yeah.
So to study here, the studying is free. You probably got to buy your books and stuff, I guess. But like, the studying is free, and your accommodation's affordable. And then in England, you have to pay for that accommodation double. Yeah. And on top of that, pay for the education itself, and then on top of that, pay for the other things you do here, like books and stuff. Like, if you did it as like a percentage, it'd be like 300-400% more expensive to do it in England than to do it here.
Crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And I think, like, because we're like the number one for English, right? And I think that's like, we're known for that, and, you know, our education system is top. I think it's all the bollocks.
Yeah, I can't comment too much on that. I don't know. You know, I didn't go to uni, so I can't comment too much on that.
But even like the first primary school, like nursery, you know, how that works in comparison to Germany, I think is so different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The way they change schools and the ages, like, here's all different. They have much longer in the same school, and a lot of schools, you'll stay in one school, it'll have like departments, but like, I went to 3 different schools infants, juniors, and then what do you even call high school in England? What do we call it? What's your last
Upper school, right?
Upper school.
Yeah, upper school.
I don't think we called it that. Didn't call it high school, obviously.
No. What was it in Germany?
No.
In England, yeah, we call it upper school. Do you not call it upper school?
No.
Really? Middle school? Lower school? Lower school, middle
Infants
school?
was like
Yeah.
baby. Then juniors, we called it junior school.
Juniors?
Junior school.
Maybe it's a Southampton thing.
It was a junior school. And then, my last school was actually like also a college, so it was called Applemore College.
Right.
Even though it was only a college if you stayed on, it had a sixth form, basically.
Yes.
Which I didn't go to, I went to a different one. I can't comment on how good or bad it was.
Right.
It was also a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know. As I said, I'm not, probably the Brits are going to be like, oh my God, I'm dissing. But like, we are fully living out of England.
Yeah.
This is our view. This is
it's
why
my critical
we left.
view of an English person who hasn't lived there for a long time. Again, like some of the views might be a little bit
harsh,
either outdated or harsh because, like I said, like we do live in like a sort of, I wouldn't say like a bubble. It's not that sheltered here, but it's quite different.
Very different
to, especially where you were from.
Yeah.
To here, it's like comparing to Luton. It's like
I mean, the thing is, I didn't have any culture shocks. I think the only thing I found difficult is people my age, because their upbringing was a lot different. Like their parents help them out all the time.
Yeah. That's very different culturally, like, especially in the villages.
Yeah, like that. That's like I didn't.
I paid rent when I was 18 to my parents.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's
and it was like here. It feels like it's got easy, and the younger guys my age, their parents would help them with the driving stuff, stuff. I can pay all this for you. And I came here.
No one gets that in England.
No.
Super rich people maybe, but like no one gets that. Now, that was actually, it's a good point. A really big culture shock of me as well.
You had the same thing.
Yeah, that like your parents are like doing so much for you.
Yeah.
Like, is that not like normal? I'm like, no. As soon as I got a job, I paid rent, which I think is also fair enough. Like I was working. Why should my parents? They support me for 18 years, and it's okay to pay a bit. I mean, I was like really cheap. Whatever. This was back in 2002, 2003, was paying like 30 euros a week or 30 quid a week or something. Like, it was really cheap, but still, I think it's fair enough. And here they're like, oh no, don't give me any money. Like, put it. I've tried to give hands like money for things so many times. I'll put it in.
Yeah.
Put it in your saving account. Oh, you need that for like something else, or if we go out, like he would never let like get a round of drinks in. Just would always like go and pay, and then he gets up and pays for the food, and I'm like, you've already like gone up and paid, and I want to pay. I have to like beat him. Like he'd go to the toilet and go and pay, like every time for like the whole 13 people in the family's lunch.
It's nuts.
I'm like, my dad would never do that. Yeah. Like, if I get lunch from him, I'm like, oh, he loves me today.
But I think maybe this is why we, I think most people that leave a country is because we have that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That
I think it works how they do it here. Though, look at like. The people that that are in your age group, and then I know some older people and sort of people your age, and everyone's like, no one's a knob.
Yeah.
No one's a knob.
Yeah.
I don't know any knobs. Like everyone that I know is like really decent, nice. If you want to borrow something from them, they'll let you borrow it. They'll come and help you. They'll be on time for stuff. If you ask someone to help you or you book a holiday together, you make plans, people stick to their plans. That's one thing I really like about living here. Yeah. People are really reliable. Like if you want to do something, people will say like, no, means like I don't want to. Or they'll say, yeah, which means I do want to. And they will. They won't at the last minute go like, oh, actually, like I can't do it. Like if people get sick, sure. But like outside of that, that's really nice. It makes planning things really easy. You can make a plan. You can plan 50 people for your birthday party and 49 people will come. Whereas you do that in England and from 50, maybe like 17, 18 will turn up. And you're like, where did everyone else go? Like what? Somebody didn't even let you know sometimes. I really got pissed off with this when I was in England years ago when I lived there. Like making plans with people and they're just bailing on you all the time.
I mean, honestly, like here, I've had the opposite thing.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Like, I had a birthday thing and I feel like here it's quite difficult. I found it it's difficult everywhere to make friends.
Yeah. Again, I have
Yeah,
a completely
yeah.
different point of view because
Yeah.
my
I know,
girlfriend's from here.
I know.
So I got like 30 friends the first day that I set foot here.
Yeah.
Like, it's different.
But this I always remember because like it felt like when I go out, like they just wanna some German people, like when I was making friends with them, it was like, yeah, let's just go out, have loads of beers, go drinking. And it was always called the, drink friends and stuff like that. And there'd always be this fear of if they would get to know me and they, become close friends, when are you going back to England? Obviously because of my age as well, because they expected me to. And when I say no, I'm permanently living here. That's like, why are you living here? But I think the one thing I remember was when I had the birthday party here and I invited loads and loads of people, like who I thought were my friends at the time, and when you fail here, oh my God, they will remember that. And you remember having, lost the house, everything, everything just collapsed. Do you know how many people showed up? I invited about 40 people, about 3 people showed up.
Really?
I swear to God. And I looked around and I was like, if this is not
yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying in Germany. It really, I was like, right.
Yeah, again, I got like really
Yeah, you're very lucky.
different.
Yeah, and it's
like all my most. I think I'm trying to think if I have what friends I have that aren't through Simone. I mean, I definitely have friends that I'm much closer with than she is.
Yeah.
But I would have met them through her to begin with. One, Martin, he moved to Spain. I met him like on the internet somehow. Yeah, I don't think a couple of colleagues and like ex-colleagues that I see sometimes still. Yeah. But apart from that, like most of my sort of core like 20 group of friends are. She already knew them.
Right. So you had that link already. I think that's what was most important.
I had my 30th birthday in Germany and my 40th. I came to visit here. Before we moved here, I came to visit in December before we went to France to do a ski season. We drove from here to France and we had to start on like the 6th or 7th of December. My birthday is the 4th. So I had my 30th, but I forgot that, in the garage down here.
Oh, crazy.
I had my 30th and my 40th.
You've had but I think that's what's interesting. You've had like some real close connections.
Yeah. I first come here on my 30th, that's right.
But you
didn't live here didn't come back and live for 4 years, but...
But did you have friendships from Germany before you came here though? Like from England?
Not from England.
Like in terms of like when you was in England with Simone?
Yeah. Did I already know people here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
because I had my 30th here. We did... Oh, hang on. My 30th would have been in 2014. I did the ski season. No, probably not.
Okay.
I did this, I think when I went to do the ski season was before. No, I would have done. I did the ski season, met people here. Then we went traveling. Then we went back to England to live. So when I was living in England, I'd already met people from here. Yeah. Must have been if my 30th birthday was here.
Maybe it's my age thing. I don't know. Maybe it's if I was a bit older, people would expect me. Well, they would think that I'm not just going to go back. Do you know what I mean?
But definitely, the Germans definitely have to like invest into friendships.
Yeah, it's difficult, and I think there needs to be a line of not just having it for let's just go out, have beers, because they're not real people. I think you think they are. When you see them again, and you just think, you know what I mean? Yeah,
it's really different to go drinking with someone, or to like go on a camping trip, or to do some work on your house, or to just hang out at home and do something, or just go for like a little hike or a walk and not have like alcohol as a crutch.
And also to clarify, me and Brad both can speak German, and and I know they'll be like, but like
it's because you can't speak.
They would say that.
When I'm out with my friends, like I don't speak English to them. Ever. Unless it depends who it is. There's one friend that I still purely basically speak English to because he speaks such good English, and he likes to do it. But if we're like in a group, I never expect people to speak English to me.
Exactly.
And I talk in German, and they all speak a bit of English. So if I get the grammar wrong, they know where I'm coming from. They always understand like everything I say.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing of
I should point that out that we're not here trying to make people speak English with us.
Exactly, and I think that's a super important factor. But but if you speak English, of course it's going to be different. I think And that's the thing, like I think we're quite well integrated into Germany as well. I think we understand the culture, everything. As I said, I think the main problem with trying to make friendships as someone abroad is, as I said, the view of their expectancy of you going back, and they don't take it seriously. I have got very close friends, 2-3 close friends here, and they know, who I am, but like, that's how I found it. But yeah, that's good.